You did everything right. You bought the bed. You bought the toys. You fed them on schedule. You even watched the training videos. And yet there's still the same quiet question inside you. Am I doing enough? Most dog owners do everything that's visible, but they completely miss what actually matters. The things that don't come in a package, the things no one puts on a checklist. And this window is much shorter than you think. By the time you realize what's missing, the window is already closed. Welcome to Dog Mind Code. If you truly want to understand your dog, subscribe right now. What I'm about to share today is nothing like the puppy videos you've seen before. This is not a training guide. This is a brain guide, and the difference is much bigger than you'd expect. Number 1, secure attachment. When your puppy looks at you, they're not just looking at you, they're making a decision. That small brain, even at just a few weeks old, asks the same question every single day. Can I trust this person? Will they be there when I'm confused or scared? Will they punish me when I do something wrong? Or will they show me what to do instead? And the answers to those questions are being recorded inside the brain, permanently. In 1969, psychologist John Bowlby developed attachment theory. It was originally a framework designed only for human infants, but decades later, Hungarian researchers proved the same theory applies to dogs. The bond between a dog and their owner was functionally identical to the bond between a baby and their mother. The same proximity-seeking behavior, the same distress when separated, the same calming when reunited. 61% of the dogs tested fell into the securely attached category, and that number was almost exactly the same as what's found in human infants. But here's where most owners miss something critical. Secure attachment doesn't happen on its own, not through toys, not through treats, not even through love alone. It's built through consistency, being there when your puppy startles at a loud noise, keeping your voice calm when they're confused, pausing instead of raising your voice, and showing them what to do instead. Every one of those moments sends a message to the nervous system. This person is predictable, and predictability is the second greatest need the brain has, right after safety. Before we move on, I want to say this. Almost everything on this list costs nothing. It doesn't take extra time. It only takes knowing what to pay attention to. And the next thing on this list might be the most important one of all. Number 2. The critical socialization window. Researchers call it the critical period, a window of just 9 weeks in your puppy's life. And what happens inside that 9-week window affects everything that comes after, not just their behavior, their character. During this time, the brain is growing faster than it ever will again. Every new sound, every new face, every new texture underfoot, every new smell creates a template. The brain looks at that template and asks, is the world safe or dangerous? Are people approachable or something to run from? Are unfamiliar sounds normal or threatening? And the answers to those questions settle into the deepest layers of the brain. Once the window closes, those structures don't change. They can be shaped a little through training, but they cannot be rewritten from the ground up. Most owners spend this window on playtime and basic commands, but the brain is building something far deeper right now. The American Veterinary Society of Animal Behavior states that the socialization period is just as influential on a dog's long-term well-being as breed and genetics, sometimes even more so, which means who your puppy becomes is shaped as much by what they're exposed to during this window as by what they were born with. So what should you actually do? At least 2 or 3 different environments every week. Different sounds, different surfaces, different people. But here's what matters. The goal isn't to overwhelm your puppy. It's to introduce them to the world. Too much stimulation creates the opposite effect. Slow, controlled, positive exposures. And after each new experience, return to somewhere calm and safe. The puppy's brain records something in that moment. The world isn't dangerous, and when you're with me, nothing can beat me. Number 3, controlled stress. I'm going to tell you something that surprises most people. Your puppy needs to experience a little stress, a small amount, controlled, in a safe environment. To understand why this matters so much, let's take a step back. Cortisol, the stress hormone, when experienced in the right amount, actually becomes a training tool for the brain. The brain learns this. Something uncomfortable can happen. I can handle it. And I did. That learning isn't possible without any stress at all, but it's also not possible when your puppy is completely overwhelmed. The narrow space between those two extremes is where the brain grows fastest. Researchers call this tolerable stress. Think about this. Your puppy startles at a new sound. If you immediately pick them up and carry them away, you're sending a message to their brain. That sound was dangerous. I was right to be scared. Running was the right call. But if you stay calm, stay still, and let your puppy sniff and investigate that sound on their own, and they discover through their own experience that it's harmless, the brain receives a completely different message. That was new. That was a little uncomfortable. But I got through it. I'm safe. Researchers found that puppies exposed to low levels of stress in their early weeks showed significantly lower anxiety as adults. The instinct to protect your puppy is beautiful and right, but protection has a limit. Past that limit, it's no longer protection, it's fragility. If something in this video has taught you something new, share it right now with someone who has a puppy. This information can change that puppy's life. Let's keep going. Number 4. Quiet togetherness. This sounds simple, but in practice, almost no one actually gives it. Either there's active attention, or the puppy is alone in another room. That space in between, where you're present but not actively engaging, that space almost never exists. Why does it matter? Because attachment isn't only built through active interaction. Research shows that dogs respond to their owner's mere presence with activation in the brain's reward center. Neuroscientist Gregory Burns found something striking. For a dog's brain, the scent of their owner produces a stronger signal than food. No touch, no words, just your presence is enough. If you're sitting next to your puppy but staring at your phone, that feeling doesn't reach them. But if you're genuinely there, calm, not somewhere else in your head, then your puppy's brain records something very different. This person is not a threat. They don't want anything from me right now. This person is just here. And that is enough. Over thousands of repetitions across years, that feeling becomes the foundation of trust. Number 5. Consistent boundaries. You've heard this before. Dogs need consistency, but hearing that is very different from actually understanding what it means. Think about this. Yesterday your puppy jumped on the couch and you laughed. Today they did the exact same thing, but your reaction was completely different. Here's what happened inside your puppy's brain. Not two different behaviors, two different people, and an unpredictable person is a constant source of stress for a dog's brain. Every inconsistent moment leaves a small weight on the nervous system, and those weights add up. When boundaries are consistent, the brain receives a completely different message. The world is predictable. The rules don't change. I know what will happen when I do this. That predictability tells your puppy's nervous system one thing. Everything is okay. From the outside it looks boring. From the inside, it feels like freedom. Number 6. Sleep safety. Sleep is the most vulnerable state a living creature can experience. You're unconscious. Your senses are shut down. Hundreds of thousands of years of evolution have guaranteed one thing. Deep sleep is not possible without feeling safe. Where your puppy sleeps matters more than how they sleep. And that sentence surprises a lot of people, because most owners genuinely believe their puppy should sleep separately, for independence, for boundaries. But the research tells a different story. Researchers at the University of Helsinki asked one simple question: does the owner's proximity change sleep quality? Puppies who slept near their owner slept much deeper and longer. Those who slept alone experienced constant interruptions, more shallow, more fragmented. And during that deep sleep, the brain is actively working, processing the day, consolidating what was learned, repairing itself. So how much your puppy learns, how healthily they grow, is partly connected to where they sleep. This doesn't mean your puppy has to sleep in your bed, but sleeping close enough to hear your voice and sense your scent makes a real difference for brain development. Number 7. Your voice and your tone. The last one, and maybe the most overlooked of all. Researchers in Budapest studied dogs with brain imaging while their owners spoke to them. When a dog hears a voice, the brain splits it into two separate streams. The right hemisphere processes emotional tone, The left hemisphere processes the meaning of the words, but the real connection only activated when both matched at the same time. Enthusiastic but meaningless words produced nothing. Meaningful words said in a flat tone produced nothing. But when tone and meaning came together, the brain responded in a way no toy and no treat could replicate. Now think about this. When you talk to your puppy, are you actually there? Your puppy's brain is catching that tone, and it senses when the two don't line up. The word says one thing, the tone says something else, and the result isn't connection, it's confusion. These 7 things together: secure attachment, the socialization window, controlled stress, quiet togetherness, consistent boundaries, sleep safety, and your voice. None of them are sold in a store. You won't find any of them in a box, but they all share the same foundation. One single thing: attention. What your puppy sees when they look at you, what you're actually offering when you look back at them. Ask yourself honestly right now, is my puppy learning to feel safe from me? Or are they only learning to obey? Because those 2 questions produce 2 completely different dogs. If this video taught you something, write your puppy's name in the comments and tell me which of these 7 things surprised you the most. I read every comment, and those comments shape what the next video will be. And if you have an older dog, go watch our previous video.